I'm Michael Bain and welcome to Triggered, coming to you from the secret hidden bunker in the Rocky Mountains, where we have obviously been exiled to Snubby Island. This week, I finally got my Smith & Wesson Ultra Carry J-frames. Ultralight J-frames. This one, the blue one, in 32 H&R Magnum 6-shot. This one in 5-shot 38 Special. These may have had more written about them, videos done on them, than any gun release in recent years, and for good reason. In fact, we've done 2 triggers. We did one in Baton Rouge at the release at the Lipsey's plant, and also at the Gun Talk range with Ryan Gresham, Chris Sereno, our good friend. We also did a special triggered on understanding why the 32 H&R Magnum might be a better choice for a snub revolver than, say, 38 Special, 357, or even 327 Magnum. So what I want to do today, now that I have these guns, is answer your questions. And the questions I got a lot of these questions are, well, how does it compare to X? So I thought I would put a bunch of X's on the desk here and show you how these guns compare to guns you may be a little bit more familiar with. Now remember, in the first show I said there were 3 things about this snub that changed that were critically important. Number 1 is the grip, number 2 is the sights, number 3 is the trigger pull. Let's start with the grips, okay? These grips, made by VZ, are nothing short of brilliant. Now I know you look at a grip and you say, why is a grip important? Well, let's compare this set of grips to the gun's most recent ancestor. This is 642 Smith & Wesson Airweight 38 Snub, and it's obviously the father of these. Look at the hump. You see how these grips, these are Crimson Trace Bantam laser grips, no longer available. It's coming right up to the hump. These VZ grips go up higher. They're shaped differently. They're smooth, and what that means is it places your hand in a different place on this gun. It is the most natural feeling snub grips that I've ever felt before, and that includes any of the snubs on this table. This would be my daily carry pocket gun, a Ruger LCR and 327 Magnum carried with 32 H&R. These are Hogue Bantam grips, close, but not close enough. They don't feel as natural in the hand as the new grips on the Ultimate Carry. VZ grips, these are VZ grips as well, but when you go up to 357 with this Taurus, hey, you're going to need bigger grips because you're going to need something to hold on to. So just a few small changes in the grip have made for a substantially different feeling and different shooting gun. We've got more when we come right back. This week's Triggered is brought to you by Taurus USA. Always ready, always bring it. Ed Brown, the best money can buy for over 50 years. And SDS Imports Thesis. Thesis means quality. Welcome back to Triggered, where we're talking about these Smith & Wesson Lipsey Specials Ultimate Carry J-frame lightweight revolvers. Another question is, well, are the sights really that much better? And the answer is yes. They are quantums better. Typically the sights that we've seen on snubs are exactly like this Smith & Wesson Airweight, or like this Taurus 605, or pick one, even like a Ruger LCR. And you can put a different front sight on the Ruger, and the Ruger sights are a little bit better, but if you really want to shoot a gun accurately, you need to have a set of sights that you can see and you can pick up very quickly. Now here's one thing that changed really recently. This is an SP101, a Ruger SP101 Wiley Clap Special, where the sights are dovetailed into the top of the front strap and then dovetailed into the barrel. The first time I saw this was on the Ruger Match Champion GP100, and I thought, wow, that looks kind of weird. On the other hand, it made for a great sight picture. So I think the Wiley claps were the first time Ruger went really broadly with these type sights. Kimber came along with their revolvers, where the same thing is you have a very easy to pick up rear sight set into the frame and a really excellent pinned in front sight. This one's night sight's really, really good. So Smith & Wesson used this type sighting system on one of their custom shop guns. But when they designed the Ultimate Carry, they decided to push it through for all of them. So you have here a rear sight that is dovetailed in. And interestingly enough, which I think you can be able to see here, is it's U-shaped. It's got U-shape. And in the front is an XS front sight. XS worked a long time with Lipsey's and with Smith & Wesson to get this sight exactly right. And it is exactly right. It has a color green that's kind of specific to this gun. Of course, a tritium dot in the middle. So what happens is with the grips and the way the grips set your hand in the gun, when the gun comes up, you see the front sight setting directly into the rear U. It is an excellent set of snubby sights. You know, if I say that like 5 times, it'll be my word. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about trigger pull and some overall issues. This week's Triggered is brought to you by Stoeger, Everyday Tough. MTM Case Guard, quality shooting sports accessories. Hunter's HD Gold, they change so you don't have to. And Muzzle Stick, biggest, brightest, strongest. One of the harsh truths about small frame revolvers was for a long time it was assumed that the trigger pull always had to suck. And that was because if you think about it, these are small guns. And so there's smaller levers. There's a lot of mechanical advantage that's necessary to turn these cylinders. And so you had triggers that typically heavy and then stacked as they pull toward the rear. That means the trigger pressure would increase as you pull the trigger to the rear. The big breakthrough came from Ruger. And I was at Ruger when they showed us prototypes of the LCR. And I said, what was the hardest thing about putting together a polymer framed snub? And the Ruger engineer said, the damn trigger. Because they knew that the trigger had to be better. And the trigger had to be consistent across the trigger pull. Well, Ruger was able to pull that off. Kimber, very good trigger. Feels a little different than the Ruger, but it's consistent, it's smooth. And so the challenge came to Smith & Wesson to match those new triggers on one of their oldest properties, on the J-frame, which Chief Special's been around since like 1950. Small Smith & Wesson revolvers have been around since the late 1900s. The amazing thing is they were able to, working with the engineers, to get that trigger pull. It's consistent, it does not stack, it feels very much to me like the trigger pull on the LCRs, except, I hate to say it, Ruger, but a little bit better. So that's why you're seeing so much on these guns. These are $750 guns. You'll see them knocked down. They're not performance center guns. They're standard catalog items. A point I wanted to make to you is these are pocket pistols. And the reason we say, oh gosh, why are pocket pistols still relevant in these times, is rule 1 of a gunfight, rule 1 is from Jeff Cooper, is have a gun. Always have a gun. And sometimes the very best way to have a gun is in your pocket. For example, I use a pocket carry. When I'm not leaving the house, I'm in and out, back and forth. It's just as easy for me to put this LCR in my pocket as it is for me to put on a gun, carry it around. So when you look at these guns on this table, the first thing you say is, what disqualifies them from pocket carry? And in the case of these Ultimate Carry J-frames, nothing. They are perfect for pocket carry. Can you carry them in a holster? Yeah. IWB, OWB, can you carry them off body? Sure. But for pocket pistols, they are absolutely superb. I'm Michael Bain. You can find us on michaelbain.tv where we're there. We're always free. And by the way, on michaelbain.tv, when this video is released, go to the blog because I have a written piece on these ultimate carry pistols. I've also got a series of links to a lot of other great information from Mike Wood at Revolver Guy, from Rich Grossi, from Rob Garrett, who is, of course, the king of all snubbies. You can also see us on Facebook. You can see us on Rumble. You can see us on YouTube. You can see us on X. And I will see you next week.